Mazda Atenza Gr.3 race car in VR. Hello there everybody and welcome to OpenFed Gaming. You're listening to the OpenFed. Today we're driving a Mazda Atenza in a World Touring Car 700 race at the Mount Panorama motor racing circuit. We're doing 7 laps. We started 20th of 20 cars and we started with a rolling start. Now these laps are decent length, they're going to take a little while to do, and when you're doing anything more than 5, 7 is touch and go, but normally 7 laps you can't do on one tank. So we are going to have to remind ourselves and everybody who's watching, if you want to know, we should know where the pit entrance and the pit exit are, so you know where you got to turn off when you need fuel. And it's also nice to know when you come out of the pit stop whether you can just hammer down because you're going straight or whether there's a corner there right away. So just kind of things I'd like to know ahead of time. Now, I don't have too much of a problem with this particular track because it's one of my favorites. The car I'm driving is also one of my favorites. I love driving this Mazda Atenza. It's just beautiful on the inside. I get a kick out of the little rear view webcam, I guess, but it sticks to the road like you wouldn't believe, as you can see me powering through these little corners here, squeezing by cars at the same time. You got really good control. So it's a very nice car to drive. If you ever have the opportunity to do so in VR, give it a shot, you won't be disappointed. Now these laps, like I said, they're going to take a little while, so with 7 laps and having to go and fuel up, the only thing we got to think about is when are we going to go and fuel up. Now we could go after 2 laps, after 3, after 4, whatever we like. So it's just up in the air. This time I thought maybe what we'll do is we'll go in after 3, do 3 laps, fuel up, and then do 4. Now the pit entrance, he's bouncing around a little bit in front of me here. The pit entrance is just up ahead right here on the left hand side. That's where you go off, and then when you're done, just a little ways down here, you go along the bottom. That's where the vehicles get serviced, and then around the corner here, also on the left hand side, right there you come out and you can see we're going to go in a straight line. So as soon as you come out, you can just hammer it down and go. Now the OpenFed always forgets how many cars that he's passed. He forgets to count them, but when you go for fuel, it's really irrelevant because people stop in at different times, so your position changes on the track constantly, so it really doesn't matter. But you should keep track of which lap you're in. Now luckily enough, I'm not too bad at counting laps, but in this particular race we don't have to, because if you look on the dash where the big number 2 is, that's the gear you're driving in, and just off to the right hand side and down is a little number 2. That's your lap counter. Now not every car has them, and some cars, some of the Vision Gran Turismo, I don't know why I always say Vegas, but Vision Gran Turismo cars, some of them also have not just a lap counter, but the position on the dash in a digital format. So that's kind of cool to know what position you're in as well as what lap you're in. But these cars don't, and only a few of them have lap counters. So we're just going to have to try and go as hard as we can. We know what lap we're in, and we know when we have to go off for fuel. Then when we do go for fuel, when you're in the garage, the display will be on and you'll be able to see what position you're in, how much fuel you've used, how much tire wear you got, stuff like that. In the meantime, it's a beautiful day out there. We got clear blue skies with a couple of little wispy white clouds around the edges. Other than that, it's a gorgeous day. It's a beautiful track. It's nice and wide. There's lots of room to pass. Several different straight sections, a couple of corners, nothing really too scary. So it's just a wonderful race to be in at the moment. Now as we're coming around the corner here, we're just going to be finishing up our 2nd lap. And like I said, we'll do 1 more and then we'll go in for fuel. And the 2nd lap ends just up ahead here. Now let's get by these 2 here because they seem to be trouble. We're just let them drive behind us. They can be as much trouble as they want to be behind us. And here we're starting off on our third lap. Like I said, it's absolutely gorgeous race. The graphics are fantastic. The gameplay is second to none. Now, I was a little worried about this Viper. It looked like he was going to move over. The other thing I don't understand is if you watch these cars, you notice how they drive in the middle of the track? It's almost like they force you to pass on the right or the left-hand side, making it look like that there's not enough room there. That's what it seems like anyhow, but it doesn't matter. One way or another, the Opel gets by them. That's just the way it is. So we're following this Corvette here. Now this track, when I first started driving it, I liked the track, but I wasn't too fond of this downhill part. And every time I came to this downhill section, I'll tell you where it starts, I used to lose time because I would have to slow down so I didn't run into the walls. I don't like to drive chaotic. I like to have a nice clean race. I don't know if that's strange, but that's just the way I like to do it. Right here, I always had to slow down because I couldn't get through here quick enough. And I would run into the cement walls. Now I seem to be doing a little bit of a better job, although the Corvette was faster than me that time. But I seem to be tackling it a little bit better, and I don't lose quite as much time through there anymore. So that's a big plus. But it's always fun when you drive a track that you have trouble with at points, that you all of a sudden seem to get a little bit better at it every time you drive it. You know, it makes for a more enjoyment if you have a good lap time on a track. Anyhow, we are coming up to near the end of the third lap. A couple turns here, and then we'll be heading off. Now, like I said, we could easily go another 1, 2, or 3 laps. But you got to split it somewhere, because I know I can't do all 7 on the tank. So after 3 it is. Now we just take our time getting in here, and we're going to change our tires regardless. We got not very much wear on our tires. We came in third into the pit stop, but that's okay. We've done 3 laps, and when we get to where we gotta be, I think that's about the start of the 4th lap. Now we're dropping places quickly. We're already in 10th now. Yeah, see, the lap counter has changed to 4. So we're sitting at the beginning of the 4th lap. Let's get some fresh tires on there, fuel it up. Well, let's go, boys. We're down to 11th, 12th. Oh, there must have been a couple of cars around the corner there. We came out 10th position. Well, that's not too bad. 20 cars, 19 competitors. We come out 10th after 3 laps, 4 laps to go. And now, the problem, of course, is that, okay, we're in 10th, but you go around, and if all 10 cars say all 9 cars in front of me say go into the pit stop, and I go past the pits, all of a sudden I'm in first. And that's what I meant by not being able to keep track of what position you're in. Counting the cars you pass doesn't help you. So the only thing that you can do is go as fast as you can. If you catch up to any cars, pass them, and when the 7 laps are done, hope you're in front and hope you get the checkered flag first. We're going to do our best. Like I said, this is one of my favorite tracks, and I'm pretty good at driving it, with the exception still of this downhill part. Still have a little bit of trouble with it from time to time, but especially when I try to go a little bit faster than normal, but that's okay. This is lap number 4, and whenever we're at the top here starting to go down, I count that as about the halfway point in the lap, approximately. So we're in 3.5 laps, so that's half the race. And we got a few more up ahead of us there, a little grouping of cars. But there again, when you're racing like this, and that too, depending upon when you go and fuel up, you could be racing for 2 or 3 laps with no competition on the track that you can see. I mean, the competition is there, obviously, but it's not right in front of you, so it makes it a little difficult. Now, we'll see if any of them go into the pit stop here. No, there you go. See, 2 of them going into the pits, 2 keep going. So now, whatever position those 2 cars held, they are now behind me, and I've moved up 2 spots. So if these 2 guys would have gone in, I could have been driving by myself for lap number 5, 6, and 7. As it is, I've still got 3 cars in front of me for now. And it looks like they're trying to block me out. Oh, he's moving over for me. That was kind of nice, but he's not giving me a lot of room. Just enough to squeeze by there. And there's that blue Viper again. See, right, driving down the middle of the track. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And I love this part here. You can scream up this hill pretty good, and when there's cars, you can pass them on the left or the right, depending upon how close behind you are behind them. You do, however, have to slow down around this corner and really slow down around this one here. I remember when I first started driving this track, and I wiped out a few times around those corners. So I've learned to slow down quite a bit around many of the corners. I was one of those drivers that when I raced in a race like this, I had to be leading after the first lap. And to be able to, well, you can't do that to begin with. It's really difficult. And even if you could, you'd be driving like a maniac. And it wasn't a lot of fun in that. So if you slow down a little bit and spread your attack out over the 7 laps that you've got the time, might as well use them. And when you spread the attack out, the race becomes more satisfying because you're passing cars and you're not running into the walls, and you're actually winning races clean, so it becomes a lot more fun. That's when the fun factor shoots through the roof. So we don't win all of them. We lose once in a while, but we always have fun playing the video games here at Overfed Gaming, because that's what it's all about. Now, as we're coming around the corner here, we're finishing up lap number 5. We got 2 laps left to go, and we haven't seen any competition lately, which leads me to believe that either, and there's only 2 scenarios by which we don't see any competition. One is that the lead cars that are leading this race are so far ahead I'll never catch them, or we are so far ahead because of our pit fueling strategy that the other cars that are on the track, they're on there and they could be half a lap behind us, but I'll never see them because they're always behind me. Those are the only 2 scenarios that I can think of, and I don't think that there's a car up on the track ahead of us. I believe we are leading, and that's what we're going to go with. We're just going to try and have a nice, even race through here, go as fast as we can without losing control, of course. Always have to try and keep that under consideration. And we're going to see where we come out when the next lap and a half is done. Now, like I said, this Mazda Atenza, if you ever have the opportunity to give it a chance to go for a drive in it in VR, well, I tell you, give it a chance. It is just absolutely awesome. And like when you're driving here in the racetrack, it's just like you're on top of the world. As we start to come down my favorite part of the track, it's a little back and forth roller coaster. From side to side, I guess, but that's okay. It's nice when there's no traffic, because then you can just go all out and use the full width and go back and forth. And when there's cars, when there's other traffic and they go at a fair clip, you can't pass them through there. It's only when, in this particular race, I managed to do it a few times because they were going really slow around those corners. But normally, you don't get to pass anybody in that little downhill stretch. That's why I like this race, because it's got these nice long stretches, and if your car is fast enough, you're going to get somewhere. As we're coming down around the bend here, coming to the bottom, we've got 1 more lap left to go, and we still have not seen any competition. It's been pretty quiet on the track. It's almost like you're driving a ghost race by yourself, you know. Anyhow, last lap. It's late afternoon, the sun is going down. It's been a beautiful race, like I said. One of my most enjoyable races. I like this car, and there's a few other ones that I really like, you know. But this one in the track, I tell you, it's there among the top. Among the top. A lot of fun. As we're coming up the hill here, I don't think we're going to see any more cars on the track. I think that this is going to be our victory lap. And we're back on top of the hill here. And you can see the sun is going down as you're driving in the shade on that side of the hill. It's just absolutely gorgeous race. Little ways left to go, and we're done for another race, another rip. 7 laps in the books. I think we're going to be taking the checkered flag on this one. Let's just try not to lose control one more time through here. And a couple more turns. All right, there. Straighten it out and let it go, boys. Final descent down the hill as the chopper flies over top of the race. Boy, they sure do think of everything. Made the race look absolutely awesome. Really love this one. I hope you did too. Hope you got some tips or tricks out of it. I hope to see you back at OpenFed Gaming again real soon. Until then, you've been driving in a Mazda Atenza Group 3 race car with me, the OpenFed.